Welcome back to the Crypto channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Chainlink is exploding to the upside and just hit $30 for the first time since 2021. But in the short term, Chainlink is now flashing a new warning signal that we need to pay attention to, while the price of Ethereum is still running into this major point of resistance, while Solana is still trending in the bearish direction in the short term, but is getting close to a possible reversal, while this altcoin is also running into major resistance, getting closer towards a major breakout. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Ethereum chart, and right now the price of ETH is technically still in a larger bull market, so not a lot has changed on this chart over the last one day. So getting straight into the 3-day time frame, and once again, right now we're still running into that major point of resistance at approximately 4.1k. So that's really the final point of resistance between the current price and the all-time high at just underneath $5,000 within this larger bull market here. And so once again, we're still bullish on the larger timeframes. We're simply running into a shorter term obstacle at the moment, which is this area of resistance. Once again, in between around 3.9k to 4.1k, which is where the price is likely going to struggle quite a bit. And we have seen that exactly as expected over the last 1 to 2 weeks approximately. And as for short-term support, we still have this area of previous resistance currently acting as major support in the short term, sitting in between around 34.30 to 35.60. So if for whatever reason we see another rejection from this resistance, expect a lot of support around there. And we could also find some short-term support at approximately 3.8k. And so overall, Ethereum is basically in a bit of a sideways price range in the shorter term, chopping around between support and resistance. But this is happening during a much larger bullish trend on the larger timeframes, also known as a bull market. And if we're taking a look at this daily Ethereum chart right now, technically speaking, this bearish divergence is still currently active, but it's getting close to an invalidation. Because if we see a breakout in the price action with a candle close on the daily timeframe above this high right here, so above around just above $4,000 basically. If we see a daily candle close above 4k, then that would essentially invalidate this bearish divergence. But if that's the case, we could potentially reconfirm a new bearish divergence by simply confirming another higher high in the price and another lower high in the RSI. And so in order to flip much more bullish again in the short term, we not only need to see a breakout in the price action, but we also need to see a breakout in the daily Ethereum RSI, ideally above this previous high, but at least above this line of resistance here in the RSI. Because of course, if the RSI starts forming higher highs again at the same time as the price forming higher highs, then there's no divergence at all. So that would be a bullish signal to watch out for if we see a breakout in the RSI. And if that happens, that would likely mean a breakout in the price above this resistance, which could mean we can start targeting the all-time high at around 4.7k to 4.9k, would likely find a decent amount of resistance around there. And so overall, not a lot has changed over the last one day for Ethereum. So getting straight into Chainlink, looking at the weekly time frame. And right now, Chainlink has continued the breakout beyond this golden pocket area of resistance, now acting as support in between around $21 to $23. And this next Fibonacci level of resistance is sitting at approximately $31. And that's pretty much exactly where we found resistance, at around $31, because this resistance, as I've been saying, is really sitting in between around $31 to $32, going up towards around $34 based on these previous highs, sitting at around $34. So as I said in recent videos here on the channel, expect a lot of struggle, expect some resistance around that area on the chart. But once the price of Chainlink can eventually break out beyond that $30 level, and ideally beyond around $34 as major resistance, then in that case, the next price target beyond that is basically the all-time high for Chainlink at just above $50, around $53 as the next major price target, once we can first confirm a breakout above this resistance that we're currently running into. And as for short-term support, we could find a bit of support at approximately $27 based on this previous high, flipping into new support. And once again, we have this golden pocket currently acting as support at around $21 to $23. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Chainlink chart, of course, this bullish breakout for this bullish cup and handle pattern is still currently active because we've not yet confirmed to break back below the point of the breakout. So right now, this is still actively playing out with a bullish price target at approximately $90 per Chainlink. So obviously that's a massive trading opportunity. And right now we're still potentially in the early stages of that trading opportunity. But as I always say, of course, with massive moves like this, it's unlikely we'll just go there in a straight line overnight. It's going to take some time, and we'll likely see little pullbacks and things like that along the way up. And of course, we cannot ignore resistance. We can still struggle around points of resistance along the way. And as for short-term support, we could find some support at around $27 approximately based on this previous high flipping into new support. And we should also find some support based on this previous line of resistance right here, currently acting as support at around $23 to $24. So close to this golden pocket, once again acting as support. But overall, on these larger timeframes here, the price of Chainlink is obviously still looking very much bullish on the larger timeframes. But if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 4-hour timeframe, so once again, only talking about the short term here, not the long term, because right now the price of Chainlink is flashing a new warning signal in the short term on the 4-hour time frame, with higher highs already confirmed in the price and lower highs currently forming, but not fully confirmed as of right now in the Chainlink RSI on the 4-hour time frame. And this could likely be confirmed very, very soon with this next candle close actually confirming the lower high in place, especially if this next candle close confirms in the red. And so, of course, with this being a bearish divergence, it's very similar to what we saw roughly around a week ago. Of course, it's a lot smaller than this previous bearish divergence, but it's basically the exact opposite as what we saw around half a week ago, right here, just a few days ago, with this bullish divergence that I also talked about here on the channel back down here. And so, obviously, I shared this bearish divergence back here, warning that a pullback is likely. And then I shared this bullish divergence, saying that a bullish relief is likely. But right now, I'm sharing this bearish divergence again, saying that it's actually quite likely maybe over the next 1 or 2 days, we could see another bit of a pullback here. Not necessarily a massive crash, but a bit of a pullback is a likely scenario, or at the very least, just some choppy sideways price action. So basically just a slowdown or a setback from all of this bullish price action, maybe for around a day or two, especially if this further confirms. And so we have to keep that in mind. Of course, this is the situation in the short term. If this properly confirms here, we could see a bit of a setback in the short term, or at least a slowdown from this bullish price action. But when we're zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, once again, all of that is currently occurring within a much larger bullish market. And so overall, when it comes to my trading strategy for the price of Chainlink, as I've been sharing basically every day over the last 1 to 2 weeks here, I am currently in a swing trade long position, longing this move to the upside. And by the way, this is still pretty early to this trade right here, in case you're just finding this channel. But of course, if you're planning to enter this long position right here, as always, not financial advice, but I would not necessarily go in very heavy right now with high leverage if you're just entering right now due to this bearish divergence. Once again, we may see a slight little pullback here, which could provide a better entry. But my strategy back here on this pullback was just to slowly scale into a long position with relatively low leverage. So slowly have some buy orders to the downside. So as we saw that pullback, it just triggered more buy orders and lowered my average entry price. And so overall, I'm still very much bullish on Chainlink, especially on the larger timeframes. It's just we might see a little bit of a slowdown in the short term during the much larger bullish move here. And if you want to take these trades for yourself, personally, I'm taking that Chainlink trade right there over on my Bitnex account. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bitnex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link below this video to make your Bitnex account, you can get an exclusive deposit bonus. It'll take you to this page right here where you can get this exclusive deposit bonus using that link. So once again, you just make an account using that link, deposit $100 worth of crypto, you can get a $20 bonus, or deposit 500 USDT, you get a $100 bonus, or deposit just 1,000 USDT and you can get a $200 futures bonus. And so essentially it's a quick 20% return on your deposit right here, up to 1,000 USDT. If you simply just make a deposit, if you make your account once again using that link, make a deposit and then start actually trading on that account, and you'll get that bonus into your account. And then you can use that bonus as effectively a free trade on your account. And also, in case you're wondering, Bitnex is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But for whatever reason, if you don't want Bitnex, there is also Bybit, which is another exchange that I also trade on. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit below this video. And if you use that link, you can claim a 500 USDT position airdrop. So basically a free $500 trade as your first trade over on Bybit. But that's only available if you use the link below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account. But with that being said, taking a look at Solana on the 3-day time frame, and right now Solana is still playing out that little bit of a short-term pullback here, but obviously still finding a lot of support at around 210 approximately. So around 200 to 210, we do have a major area of support, but if we break below around 200, then in that case, we'll likely see a drop down towards around 185 approximately. But for now, once again, we're still holding this support, which is good news in the short term. And the next major price target to the upside in the larger bull market for Solana is sitting at around $313. But before we can think about that price target right there, of course, we have a lot of short-term resistance we need to pay attention to. So we have strong resistance at around $260. We also have strong resistance at around 245 to 246. And we also have short-term resistance right here at around $232. And so for now, those are the points of resistance to pay attention to. And I'll only really start flipping much more bullish again in the short term for Solana once we can ideally see a breakout above around 246. That would be a change in this price structure. But as for short-term support, in case we continue these little rejections here, we do have some support at approximately 222, and we have more support once again in between around 200 to 210. And if we're taking a look at this 8-hour Solana chart, right now the price of Solana is in a short-term bearish trend, forming lower highs and lower lows in this descending parallel channel. So obviously the price structure, once again, at least in the short term, is technically bearish, but it's possible this could turn out to be a bull flag pattern, but that only really happens if we see a confirmed breakout, ideally very soon, above this line of resistance right here, which is sitting at around $233. Because if we don't see a breakout very soon above that resistance, then in that case, if we just continue this short-term bearish trend for even another few days or another half a week or so, then this will basically become too large for a bull flag and will just continue on as a short-term bearish trend. And we do have this line of support right here coming into play at pretty much exactly $200 right now. But of course, we have those other levels of support and resistance that we cannot ignore. These are still acting as strong resistance and points of support. And so that is the situation for Solana in the shorter term, currently looking bearish, but could flip bullish if we soon see a breakout above these important points of resistance, but that needs to happen soon. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at this altcoin right here, which is Polkadot, ticker DOT, because Polkadot is one of the top suggested altcoins in the comment section below these videos. So as always, if you want your altcoin, your favorite altcoin in these videos, just comment it down below these videos in the comment section, and I'll try to get to the top suggested altcoins first. And so with that being said, taking a look at Polkadot on the weekly time frame, and right now Polkadot is currently rejecting from this major level of resistance right here, which is the second most important Fibonacci level, the 38.2% Fibonacci level of resistance, and this is sitting at approximately $10.20 to $10.40, give or take. So right around there, we have strong resistance. As we can see, we've seen 2 major rejections and even close to 3 rejections from this area. But once we can finally see a confirmed breakout, ideally with a weekly candle close above around $10.50, let's just say, then in that case, the next point of resistance would be sitting at this 50% retracement level, sitting at pretty much exactly $14. And beyond that, we have the most important Fibonacci level on the price chart, which is really an area called the golden pocket, sitting in between around $19.50 to $21.20 approximately. And so that would be the next significant price target to the upside beyond this resistance right here, pointing towards potentially a 100% move that could come next. So basically a doubling your money in the price of Polkadot here with no leverage. But once again, we first need a breakout above this resistance, which is currently still acting as strong resistance. And as for support, we do have this level right here, which will likely act as strong support. And that's sitting at approximately $6.80 to $6.90. So just underneath $7 as major support. And of course, with Polkadot being one of the major altcoins out there, if the larger crypto market continues in a bull market, and especially if we enter into a major altcoin season, it's very likely that Polkadot will also basically follow along with the crypto market and continue on with a bull market on the larger timeframes. But as of right now, the price of Polkadot has barely even broken out from the bear market lows, because these are basically the bear market lows from around 2022 all the way into 2023 and of course this year. And so obviously from the actual low points, the price of Polkadot has already pumped a decent amount. But if we're looking at this range right here, this is still basically the range that we were in pretty much most of the bear market and near the end of the bear market. And so this tells us that there could still be a lot of potential here, because this basically tells us that Polkadot has barely even started its bull market. But once again, we still have a lot of resistance that we first need to break out above before expecting these next major bullish moves. And with that being said, taking a look at the shorter term, looking at the 8-hour time frame, right now the price of Polkadot is possibly forming a head and shoulders pattern, which is a bearish pattern, but this only confirms if we see a confirmed break below this neckline. So I want to make it clear that as of right now, even though it's possibly forming, it is not yet confirmed and not yet playing out. And so once again, in order for this pattern to actually confirm, we need to see a pullback very soon at some point in the coming hours or over the next few days, back down towards this neckline right here, which is sitting at around $7.85. And then we need to see a confirmed break below that level with ideally an 8-hour candle close, or even better, a daily candle close below this level at around $7.80 once again, and that would confirm this head and shoulders pattern, setting up a short-term bearish price target. And in case you're wondering what that price target would be for this pattern right here, if we're measuring out that price target, if we first confirm the breakdown once again, which right now has not happened, but if that happens, that would set up a short-term bearish price target at approximately $5.65. So around $5.60 to $5.70. So from the point of the breakdown to that price target, we're talking about around a 28% move to the downside, nearly a 30% dump in the price of Polkadot. That is possible if we first break below this line of support right here, which once again right now has not happened. So until that happens, that bearish price target is not active, and this pattern right here is not in play. But either way, if you want to get set up ready to go to take these trading opportunities in the price of any crypto, once again, check out the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.